everyone! If you enjoy the video, please leave a like and comment what type of content you would like to see next time. Also, only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking the video, consider subscribing. Check out the Patreon in the video description for more stories by my team. Enjoy the video!
Dennis' jaw dropped open as he saw that his eyebrows had been shaped into a very feminine style, something that could take weeks to grow back to normal. What the hell, Kylie? Dennis demanded. I'm sorry, it was a mistake, but it's fine. If they notice, I'll tell Mom and Dad I did it as a prank while you were asleep, and if you need to go out, you can just use an eyebrow pencil to fill it in. Kylie responded, pulling out her phone. Besides, even if it wasn't a mistake, you're in no position to argue. Dennis slumped back in the chair and sighed. He desperately wanted to take charge and demand the phone. After all, he was the older brother, but now that he'd let her take it this far, there wasn't any turning back. He just had to let things happen from here. And now for accessories. Kylie grabbed a few pieces of jewelry off her vanity and handed them to Dennis. Dennis looked them over: a ring, a few bracelets, and a necklace with a pink crystal heart. Girly, but by far the least of his worries at this point. The ring and bracelets were simple, but the necklace took some work. As he fastened the necklace onto his neck, he spotted Kylie taking another photo. Looking good, sis. I really like how your hair came out after I straightened it. Kylie grinned. Yeah, sure, get your jokes in now, because once the internet is back, this is over. I don't know how we managed to hide my hair from Mom and Dad, but you've gone way too far now. Dennis whined. Looks like you know something I don't, because I never said it'd be over when the internet was back, just that I can't really post any photos until it's back. You said you wanted to do this because you were bored and we had nothing better to do. And I didn't realize how much fun it'd be. I might want to keep this up. That is if you don't do exactly what I want without complaining. What do you want from me? At the moment, I need some better photos. The lighting in here is terrible. I think the next step is to take the photo shoot outside. Outside? But someone might see me. Dennis' heart started to race. Dressing up like a girl and letting Kylie do what she wanted was one thing in the privacy of their home where no neighbors or passerbys might see. But out in the open? That was another matter entirely. And as long as you're cooperative, no one will ever know who that mystery girl on the lawn is. If you don't, I think my sister might start having a burgeoning social media presence. Dennis opened his mouth to speak, but again, was completely speechless. After sputtering and stuttering for a minute, he just threw his arms up in frustration. Oh, and before we go, make sure to put on your shoes. Kylie handed Dennis a pair of pink, open-toed pumps. Heels? Dennis asked. Not only do they show off your pretty toenails, but they match, too. Kylie smiled. After putting on the unfamiliar heels and taking a few cursory steps, Dennis managed to get the hang of it, at least well enough to descend the stairs, while gripping the banister tightly, and made his way towards the backyard. While the previous day had been dark and stormy, the sun had finally emerged and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Dennis squinted as he emerged from the house. You should consider yourself lucky. I was going to make you pose on the lawn, but the grass is too wet and your heels would just sink, so we'll have to stay closer to the house. Kylie said. Small mercies, Dennis muttered as he glanced around, ensuring nobody was in a position to see into the yard. All right, now stand there and I'll tell you how to pose. Kylie said. For several minutes, as he stood against the wall of the house, Dennis was forced into a variety of poses and expressions by Kylie, including one where he was to hold the hem of the skirt with his fingertips. Yes, just like that, hold the skirt like that, although it wouldn't kill you to smile, you know. Kylie instructed. Maybe I'd be more inclined to smile if I wasn't being blackmailed. How much longer is this going to go on for anyway? Dennis spat. I dunno, I guess until we get internet back, but we'll see. Kylie shrugged as she snapped another photo. Come on, you've had your fun. You made me shave my whole body, you plucked my eyebrows, I'm wearing a stuffed bra and a skirt, and you put makeup and jewelry on me. I think the game's gotten old. Old? I'm just getting started. It's fun to have a sister around to do stuff with. Way better than some boring brother who spends all his time in his room playing video games. Kylie trailed off, a hint of sadness in her voice. Dennis' jaw dropped. The blackmail, her gleeful remarks as she forced him into the most embarrassing situation that he'd ever been in before, the threats, it was all because she felt he played video games too much. Dennis was confused, angry, and a whole bunch of other emotions that he couldn't even process at the moment. Is that what this is about? You didn't need to blackmail me if you wanted to just hang out, Dennis exclaimed, louder than he intended. No, but you don't like the same stuff as me, certainly not any of the girly stuff I like, face masks and pedicures and all that. Besides, you'd have said no when I asked. Kylie pouted and crossed her arms. You don't know that. You've never asked. Dennis shouted, I do, all the time, and you're always too busy in a raid or something like that. Kylie shouted back, so you force me to dress like a girl by blackmailing me? Dennis motioned towards himself. That's your idea of doing stuff together? You think this is what siblings do to each other? Embarrassing them in sadistic ways? Threatening to release photos that could ruin my reputation at school? Sadistic? I'm sorry. I just wanted to have some fun. Kylie frowned. I wasn't really going to post any of the pictures. I'd never do that. Really? Dennis' anger evaporated in an instant as he saw tears starting to well in Kylie's eyes. You can go ahead and get undressed. I'll delete all the photos. Kylie sniffed as she held back tears and ran into the house. Wait, Kylie, Dennis shouted, trying to grab Kylie as she ran away. Stop. Dennis, unused to the heels he was wearing, attempted to give chase, but was forced to take small, mincing steps to avoid face-planting on the hard concrete. Once he got into the house, he took a few steps before clicking his tongue in annoyance, and sat down on the couch, reaching down to remove the inconvenient high heels from his feet. He massaged his foot for a moment before rushing upstairs to Kylie's room. Dennis took a moment to catch his breath and really thought back, trying to remember the last time he spent any time with Kylie that wasn't just idle conversation at dinner or passing in the kitchen as they each made a snack. Dennis sighed as he realized that it had been a very long time. Too long a time. Steeling himself up as much as he could in his feminine get-up, he knocked lightly on the door. Hey, Kylie? Dennis called. Go away. That's what you wanted, right? For me to leave you alone? Kylie shouted. Come on, Kylie. I just want to talk for a minute. Dennis insisted. Fine. Kylie opened her bedroom door slightly. Listen, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I was angry, but I get it now. I wasn't being a particularly good brother. It's no wonder that you felt you had to blackmail me to do anything with you, Dennis said. Besides, I didn't hate everything you did as much as I said I did. You're just saying that to make me feel better. Kylie began to slam the door, but Dennis pushed it back open. Wait. You were right yesterday, the pedicure did feel really good. I wouldn't mind doing that again, minus the pink nail polish. You know, if you wanted to hang out together once I'm back in my regular clothes, but while I'm still dressed up like this. What else did you have planned for today? Well, now that you ask, Kylie grinned, not an evil grin, but a genuinely happy grin. Once the burden of blackmail had been lifted, Dennis was far more receptive to Kylie's activities, and they enjoyed a few hours of activities, some sisterly bonding like Kylie teaching Dennis how to paint nails, leaving the siblings with matching pink manicures, with Kylie using press-on nails for Dennis for easy removal later, and some just general hanging out, like cooking breakfast together. Dennis was far more comfortable in his new outfit, ditching the tight tank top and skirt for a pair of black shorts and a green collared button-down sleeveless blouse. Even the uncomfortable heels had been replaced by a pair of Kylie's sneakers that fit Dennis. As Dennis munched on a piece of bacon and Kylie chattered on with her other plans for the day, they were both interrupted by the sound of the doorbell ringing. Dennis froze, and Kylie, noticing her brother's discomfort, immediately shot up. I'll get it. Kylie ran to the front door and peeked out the window. An older man in a uniform was standing there, carrying a box. Satisfied that it wasn't one of either her or Dennis' friends making an unannounced visit, Kylie reached for the doorknob. Yes? Kylie asked as she cracked open the door. I'm from ISP, we got a call that your router is broken. We're here to replace it. the man said, pointing to the logo on his breast pocket. Oh, of course, come on in. Denise, show him where the router is. Kylie shouted. Dennis sheepishly nodded as he motioned for the worker to follow him. After checking the router and doing some routine checks of the system to ensure nothing else had failed, the worker installed the new router, and the internet light blinked on, like a beacon of hope. That should fix it, but feel free to call back if you have any further problems. Have a good day, young ladies. The worker said as he wrote down something on his clipboard, before heading out of the house. Kylie shut the door behind him, giggling at how her brother had been referred to as a young lady by the worker. When she returned, she found Dennis had left the room. Kylie quickly realized the first place her brother would have gone. She bounded up the stairs and sure enough, Dennis was turning on his game console up in his room. Kylie gently knocked on his door frame. "What are you smiling about, dear sister?" Kylie asked. "The internet's back. I can finally play my game again." Dennis exclaimed. "I'm gonna kick that level's ass." "Oh. I guess you'll want to change back into your own clothes, right?" Kylie said sadly, looking at her feet. "I could. Although this outfit is pretty comfortable, way better than that skirt and heels, I wouldn't mind wearing it a little bit longer." Dennis shrugged. "And you said something earlier about face masks? That might be fun to do, since Mom and Dad aren't gonna be home for a while yet. I'll go get them. Ooh, and there's this rom-com I've been meaning to watch." And Kylie excitedly started to turn around. Or, Dennis exclaimed, "You could be my player too." Huh? Kylie scrunched her face in confusion. "I mean, you've spent the last 2 days sharing all of your favorite stuff with me. I think it's about time I return the favor." Dennis smiled, holding out a controller. "Nothing would make me happier, bro." Kylie smiled and took the controller from Dennis' manicured hand. "Same here, sis." Dennis motioned for Kylie to sit down. "Now, the secret to this level is the end. And that is a wrap. What do you guys think of the story? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.